Something changed, and you felt it before you could name it. You asked for a bob, a fresh start, clean, modern, elegant, and the stylist delivered exactly what you described. But you walked out and something in the mirror stopped you cold. It wasn't the cut. It looked fine. And that's what's so unsettling. It looked fine, and yet somehow, your face looked heavier, older, more tired than you felt when you walked in. That feeling has a name, and it is not your imagination. Every morning this is quietly happening. One specific bob detail is pulling your features downward, flattening your cheekbones, and adding years to your face that no skincare routine can undo. And the fix takes under 60 seconds once you know what it is. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we're covering the 5 bob haircut mistakes that instantly age you. And by part 3, you're going to want to stop and look in the mirror. I mean it. Part 1 opens with the bob mistake I see on almost every woman I meet. Part 2 has a fix so geometrically simple, it almost feels unfair that no one says it out loud. Part 3 carries the detail that stylists quietly correct without explaining why. Part 4 is the one about color placement inside a bob, and what it is doing to your jawline without your knowing. Part 5 wraps with the finish mistake that undoes everything else you got right. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1, the length mistake. When your bob ends in the wrong place. You asked for something clean and current. So you asked for a bob, and you got one. And on paper, it is exactly right. It has a good shape. It is well cut. But something in your reflection keeps nagging at you in certain lights, at certain angles. You cannot name what is wrong. That is the trap. This is the one a friend of mine called me about at 7 in the morning. She said, "I did everything right and I look 10 years older than I did last week." I knew before she finished the sentence. The bob is ending exactly at your jaw. And that one detail is doing more damage than almost any other single choice in this entire video. When a bob terminates at the jawline, it frames the widest horizontal line on your face. It draws the eye directly to that point. And for a woman over 50, with natural changes in jaw definition, the softening that comes with time, this framing does not flatter. It broadcasts what it should redirect. This specific length is pulling your features downward and visually widening the lower third of your face, which flattens your cheekbones and adds at least 5 years to how your face reads in any photograph. Here is the reason this mistake is the hardest one to catch on yourself. You chose this length intentionally. It felt modern. It felt deliberate. Leaving it feels like giving something up. But staying means every photo, every morning mirror, every natural light window is working against you. There is a reason certain bobs photograph 10 years younger. Yes, that's simple. The length. The sweet spot for a bob on a woman over 50 is just past the jawline, not sitting on it. Even half an inch below the jaw releases the frame entirely. 1 inch below begins to actively slim the lower face. 1.5 inches past the jaw, with soft layers introduced from the cheekbone down, changes how your whole face architecture reads in every single light. What to swap? If your bob is sitting at jaw level, ask your stylist for a length that grazes your neck just below the jaw. And request that the weight line be softened rather than blunt. The blunt weight line at jaw level is the second problem hiding inside this first mistake. A softened line at that same point reduces width. A softened line a full inch below changes everything about the way your cheekbone leads the eye. One practical note, if you have been maintaining this length for a while, your stylist may suggest a slight adjustment rather than a full restyle. That is enough. This is not a dramatic change. It is a half-inch shift with an enormous return. Your bone structure was designed to lead. The right length simply stops getting in the way. The longer this sits at jaw level, the more the habit of choosing it becomes invisible to you, and to everyone looking. If this resonates, do not wait until your next scheduled trim. Mention it at the start of the appointment, not the end. Coming up next, the one bob cut that feels sharp and intentional in the salon chair, and quietly rounds your face in every light once you leave. Most women never connect the two. Part 2, the blunt line mistake. Why your bob feels heavy. Let me ask you something. When you look at your bob in a photograph, does it look heavier on the bottom than you feel it looks in the mirror? That is not the camera. That is not the light. That is the cut. The blunt bob looks perfect in magazines. It photographs beautifully on models in their 30s with unlined skin and high bone structure. On you, with the natural softening that comes with your age, with the way light falls differently on skin past 50, the blunt line does something very specific, and it is almost invisible until you know to look for it. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, and the bob she had been wearing for 3 years was doing all the wrong things to her face. She kept asking the stylist to just clean it up. She didn't know what she was actually asking for. She didn't know the line was the problem, not the length. The blunt weight line creates a visual shelf at the bottom of your cut. And that shelf catches the eye. Your gaze lands on the heaviest horizontal line in the frame. And on a woman over 50, that shelf almost always lands at or near the jaw, reinforcing the exact width the length is already creating. This is adding weight you do not have to carry. And nobody is telling you. Here is what changes everything. And it is one instruction at your next appointment. Ask for internal layers. Not face framing layers alone. Not a feathered edge. Internal layers. Weight removed from underneath and through the midshaft, that allow the outer line to remain clean while the interior of the cut develops movement. Your bob will still look like a bob. It will still have a defined shape. But instead of sitting flat and heavy, it will float. And when hair floats, it does not widen. It lifts. Write this one down. Ask for soft point cutting on the weight line, not scissor over comb blunting. Point cutting breaks the solid shelf into a softer, slightly irregular edge. You retain the structure but lose the shelf. And losing the shelf, that single change, is what stylists do quietly when they understand what a mature face needs, but do not always take time to explain. The difference between a blunt line and a point cut line in a photograph is the difference between a jaw that reads as soft and high and a jaw that reads as broad and set. Same bone structure. Same face. 2 entirely different readings. What to swap? Replace the blunt weight line with a point cut edge and introduce internal layers from the occipital bone down. If your hair is fine, ask for razor point feathering on the ends only. This adds the same movement without removing too much density. If your hair is thick, internal layers are your most valuable tool. Maintenance tip: have the weight line repoint cut every 6 to 8 weeks. A blunt line grows back to a blunt line if your stylist defaults to scissor over comb at each trim. Name it specifically, every time. The next mistake is the one I see most often. And honestly, the most expensive to correct once it has been sitting on your face for months. That is next. Part 3, the volume mistake. The flat bob that flattens everything else. Here is something most women over 50 do not know. And once you hear it, you will see it everywhere. The shape of your bob at the crown is not a style preference. It is a structural decision. And the wrong structure at the crown is doing something to the proportions of your face that is genuinely difficult to reverse without intervention. When a bob lies flat at the crown, no lift, no volume, no intentional height, your head reads as narrow at the top and wider through the middle. And wide through the middle, for a woman over 50, means the eye travels directly to where you want it to travel least. This specific shape is visually compressing your features and pulling the entire face downward, which eliminates the appearance of cheekbone height and reduces the sense of vertical length your face relies on to read as elegant and refined. This is the one that most women find hardest to hear, but it is the one that matters most. There is a reason this one is so common. It happens through erosion, not decision. You had lift once. Over time, products built up. The cut grew out. The layers lost their architecture. And slowly, month by month, the crown began to settle. You did not choose this. It chose you, quietly, in increments too small to notice until the photograph told the truth. So here is the fix, and it operates on 2 levels. The first level is the cut itself. Ask your stylist to build graduation into the crown. Not height from teasing or product, but structural lift from the angle at which the hair is cut at the root. This is called elevated cutting or over-direction. When hair is cut with elevation at the crown, it falls back with volume built into the shape rather than coaxed from outside. That is the kind of volume that holds across a full day and photographs reliably. The second level is your styling routine. For women over 50, root lifting spray, not volumizing mousse at the ends. Applied directly to the crown section while hair is still damp, then dried with a round brush directed upward and back from the hairline. Adds between 1 and 2 centimeters of visual lift that your face shape depends on. That lift makes your cheekbones read higher. It lengthens your face proportionally. It gives the whole silhouette a vertical elegance that the flat crown eliminates. Here is the curiosity gap most stylists never bridge for you. There is a difference between a bob cut for volume and a bob maintained for volume. The cut is the structure. The maintenance is the daily habit. You need both. The cut without the routine loses its lift within 2 weeks. The routine without the cut is fighting the wrong battle. What to swap? Flat crown styling for elevated root technique. Round brush directed upward at the crown during blow dry, finished with a light hold root spray at the base only. And request elevated cutting at your next trim. Those 2 words alone will change what your stylist does with those first sections at the top of your head. Your natural elegance does not need to be manufactured. It needs the right architecture to carry it. Part 4 is about color placement inside a bob, and what it is quietly doing to your jawline every single day without your knowing. That one surprised even me when I first saw the research. Part 4. The color placement mistake. How your bob highlights are aging your jawline. Nobody told you this. And they should have. The color in your bob is not neutral. It is not just tone and brightness and warmth. It is directional. It draws the eye. And if the weight of your color is sitting in the wrong place, it is directing attention to the exact area of your face you want the eye to move past, without you ever once suspecting the color is responsible. Here is the specific pattern I see again and again. A woman has a bob with highlights concentrated through the mid-lengths and ends. The color is beautiful, luminous, well executed, and it is sitting in a band of brightness directly across the jaw. Every time someone looks at her, the highlights catch the light and pull the gaze to that line. The jaw becomes the brightest, most visually active point in the frame. This one detail is creating visual width at your jaw and drawing focus downward, which works directly against the high cheekbone reading that gives a mature face its most youthful and striking appearance. You have been investing in beautiful color that is quietly working against your bone structure, and nobody connected the two. The fix is a conversation you need to have with your colorist, not your stylist, about placement. Ask for face framing highlights placed at the crown and through the top sections of the bob. Brightness at the top of the cut, at the hairline, at the temples. This draws the eye upward. When the eye goes upward, it lands on your cheekbones. And that is exactly where you want it. Simultaneously, and this is the part most colorists skip without being asked, the mid-lengths and ends benefit from slightly richer, slightly deeper tones relative to the face frame. Not dark, not flat, just slightly less bright than the crown section. The contrast between a luminous crown and slightly deeper ends creates the optical illusion of lift. The same principle that interior designers use to make ceilings read as higher. Lightness rises. Depth recedes. You can use that physics. The second fix. If you are naturally silver or white at the temples, do not fight it. That silver at the hairline is already doing the right job, drawing the eye up, toward your eyes, toward your cheekbones. Resist the instinct to blend or darken it to match the rest of the bob. Lean into it. That is not aging. That is architecture. This is the fix I wish someone had handed me in a single sentence years ago. Put your brightest color where you most want the eye to go, and put your deepest color where you want the eye to move past. That is the whole equation. What to swap? Mid-length and highlight concentration for crown and temple placement. Ask your colorist specifically for face framing brightness at the top third of the bob, with slightly warmer and richer tones through the lower 2/3. This is one appointment conversation that changes every photograph you take from here forward. Maintenance tip. Ask your colorist to refresh the face frame placement every 8 to 10 weeks, before the root regrowth begins to separate the bright frame from the hairline. The frame must connect to the hairline to create the upward pull. I didn't expect part 5 to be the one people message me about most, but it always is. Part 5, the finish mistake. The bob detail that undoes everything. You got the length right. You softened the weight line. You built the volume at the crown. You adjusted the color placement. And then, without realizing it, the finish undoes all of it. This is the mistake that hides inside every other solution. And it is the one that is most invisible until you know its name. The finish of your bob. The way it sits against your neck, the way the ends behave, the direction the perimeter travels, is either lifting your face or dropping it. There is no neutral. Every bob has a direction. And most women over 50 are unknowingly wearing a direction that works against them. Here is the specific problem. Ends that turn under. A bob with ends that curl inward, whether from the cut, the styling, or the natural behavior of the hair, creates a visual line that pulls downward and inward. The eye follows the direction of the hair. When the hair closes inward at the bottom, the face reads as compressed. The jaw area reads as fuller. The neck reads as shorter. This one finished detail is doing more to add years to your face than almost any other single variable. And it is entirely invisible until you see a photograph from the side or three-quarter angle. And notice that the end of your bob is curving back toward your face rather than releasing away from it. There is a reason this one is so locked in. The undercurl often comes from the way the hair was dried, not just the way it was cut. A round brush directed under creates a flip inward. A flat iron used to smooth without directing the ends outward sets the turn permanently. And once the habit is in the muscle memory of the styling routine, you stop noticing what you are creating every single morning. The fix has two parts, and the second part is the one nobody says out loud. Part 1. Ask your stylist to cut the perimeter with a slight outward graduation, not a dramatic flip, just a subtle angle that releases the ends away from the neck rather than closing them back in. This is called a release cut at the perimeter. One instruction, one adjustment. The ends will now fall away from the face naturally rather than turning back. Part 2. When styling at home, and this is the part most women never hear, direct the final pass of your blow-dry or flat iron outward and very slightly upward at the ends. Not dramatically. 1 centimeter of outward direction on the final pass changes the way the entire perimeter sits. The ends release. The neck appears longer. The jaw reads as more defined rather than surrounded. The whole lower face lightens. What to swap? Ends under styling for ends release styling. One directional shift on the final pass of the blow-dry, combined with a release cut at the perimeter from your stylist. These are the two smallest changes in this entire video, and they carry the highest visual return. Maintenance tip. At every trim, remind your stylist. Release cut at the perimeter. These words specifically. 2 trims without that instruction, and the undercurl will re-establish itself as the ends gain weight. Your bob was always capable of this. It just needed the right finishing instruction to finally show you what it could do. There is one thing about the accessory mistake that pairs with a bob that nobody in this space discusses directly. That is coming very soon. And once you hear it, you will look at your earring choices very differently. You just learned the 5 specific bob mistakes that most women spend years living with. And you did it in one sitting. Length placement, weight line, crown volume, color direction, and finish. 5 things. Every single one fixable at your next appointment. You didn't just watch a video. You changed how you'll look tomorrow morning. Now tell me in the comments. Which of these 5 mistakes were you making without knowing it? I want to know which one surprised you most. I read every single comment. Next time, we are getting into the one earring mistake that actively shortens the neck when worn with a bob. And it is not the size you would expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.